Yay, good morning. Okay, I just love music. I always have to have a little music pumping when we start these because it's so much fun. Music just gets your blood pumping and it gets you excited and energized and it helps you be fabulous. I want you to be fabulous today. I want you to be fabulous today and every day. Okay, so here we are today. I hope you took a few minutes and you checked out the boxes. The boxes have nothing, absolutely nothing. Oh, I'm going to pull that up so I can see that. Absolutely nothing to do with anything other than that's how I could get all the words to fit on the page. So just so you know, it's nothing about anything, okay? So what I need you to do is to grab your pen and your list of characteristics that you chose for yourself. Okay, the characteristics that are in the orange block or orange square, those represent, it's called a D personality or a dominant personality. Whoa, okay. And then the blue box, those are personality characteristics for an I personality. The green box, those are characteristics for an S personality. Oh, I means influencing. Think of a cheerleader. That's kind of an I, is an influencer. The S is for steady. So if you are in the green, if you have the most in the green box, that's for steady. And then the purple box is C, which means conscientious. Okay, so underneath the D personality, so if you had the most circles inside the D box, or the orange, I should just transfer that over here. If you had the most inside the orange, then your number one personality would be a dominant personality. If you had the most characteristics chosen from the blue box, then you're the I personality, the influencer, the cheerleader. I know the most about that one because that one usually comes up for me, number one. If you had the most from the green box, that is for steady, 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 okay? And if you had the most from the purple box, that's conscientious. Okay, so you know now a little bit about what you are. Chances are there's some of you in every one of those boxes. The very first time, oh, your personality changes. That's what I was going to say. Every time you will take this assessment, and I don't really like the word assessment because I think of that as a test, and it's not a test. It's just an indicator of different ways that you think. Okay, so the box that has the most is the number one way that you think and process. The number two would be the number two way that you think and process. The box that has the third most would be the number three way that you think and process. And the number four box would be the fourth way that you think and process. Okay, does that make sense? So we have all these different things. And the very first time I took this, I think everything I owned, except for a few things, was inside the I box. And sorry, I do have my phone here in case you have a message and then it will come through and then I can answer for you. Okay, so, and the I and the D, that was where I started. And this last time I just took it, I was in the S box. So was my highest. You still have some of everything, and there is no right and there is no wrong. And the purpose of today is just to help share with you a little bit about what each of those personalities likes, the ways to communicate best with those personalities, because each of us have a different personality, so we each need a different kind of love. And 5 love languages would be an awesome topic. Ooh, I should write that down for a different day. Maybe not part of boot camp. I lost my post-it note. Okay, found it. But that would be 5 love languages. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Alrighty, so here we go. If the most, and you should be taking notes on all 4 of these because you're going to deal with customers and new team members from each of these 4 personality types. And there are lots of different ways to do this. This one just happens to be the one that I have learned through Mary Kay over the last 23 years. It's called D-I-S-N-C. There are color personalities where you could be green, yellow, gold, orange, brown. I don't know how many colors are in there. And that's the one Tim used to use at his office all the time. That was how they trained them. I've also seen it with animals where you're different types of animals. So there are lots and lots of different choices of choosing your characteristics. But just for this purpose, I'm going to use this one because this is the one that you will hear the most when you are at Mary Kay events. Alrighty, so here we go. You have the characteristics already. So the orange is D, blue is I, green is S, and C is purple. When you are with someone, and let's start with going to the party. Okay, so here's what people do when they come to the party. As the guests arrive to the class, the people who have the D as their number one are going to show up on time. People that have I as their number one will be late, and they're going to make a grand entrance. The people who have S will be on time, or they'll apologize profusely if they're just a tiny bit late. And the C personality will just be on time. That's just the way it is. Okay? How they're dressed. This one, I love this. The D person will be professional or in business attire. They will have solid dark or bright clothing or a large print, but they will look very sharp. The D personality, okay? The I personality, so this is how they're going to dress, will be a little more trendy, stylish, fun. They'll have ruffles and flowers and bright colors because they want everyone to notice them. So that's like back to the cheerleader. Why do you become a cheerleader? Because you're having fun and you like people looking at you, okay? Then the S, they're going to have a really small print and they'll probably wear a light color. They're very conservative and they sometimes might be dated. So their clothing might look like something that they wore a long time ago, or that it was handed, I call them hand-me-ups, when they go up a generation instead of down a generation. They could be wearing hand-me-ups, but it's just kind of interesting. And your C personality will be professional, maybe you're not dated, and usually solid light colors. Remember, these are only guesses. It's not going to be a perfect, it's not perfect because you're going to have a mix of all these things. Okay, during the presentation, so as you're doing your skincare class, the D is going to ask questions that start with is this or do I questions. And only, they like to talk thinking that they can, I gotta hear dogs barking, that they can intimidate you. And so they really want to be in control. The D wants to be in control. Okay, the I is going to ask questions about the product. They talk a lot and they're very friendly and they'll be helping other people and encouraging them. Okay, the S doesn't ask any questions and doesn't bring any attention to herself. She's just the observer. She's just watching what's happening. The C is going to ask why questions. Questions that start with why and questions that start with how. They're concerned about doing it right. And in the beginning, they may appear kind of standoffish to you and that they're not happy to be there. So just so you know, it's nothing about them not being happy to be there. It's just their personality and the way that they think. Okay. The only thing you need to ask anybody who comes to your party or a facial is just tell me a little bit about yourself. Okay. And then here are the clues. The D personality is going to tell you all about her job, what she does, what she's earned, who she supervises, what she likes to coordinate. She's going to give you her resume. Okay. The I personality, she's going to tell you all about herself, what she personally likes to do. She may even take you back to when she was in high school. Chances are you will have no problem getting her to answer any questions. And she more than likely is high energy, but not always, but most of the time is high energy. And the reason I keep calling her a cheerleader is because I was a cheerleader way back when. And every time I read all these characteristics, I think that really is me. I just love to chit chat and get to know people. So that's where I started when this business. I was a high I. Okay, and S, she will tell you about her family, her children, her husband, her parents, and work she does for her school, her church, her home. And she'll probably not use the word I very often. And the C personality is extremely analytical. She may even ask you, what do you mean by that question? If you say, tell me a little bit about yourself, she may say, well, what do you want to know? Or what do you mean by that? It's just so interesting. And she'll have lots of questions and may even come to the class, the party skincare class, or if you're doing a sharing appointment with her, she may already have questions ready when she gets there. Okay, remember, everyone has some of all 4 of these in them. Our task in the beginning when we meet someone is to decide which of those 4 is their number 1 ranking personality. And I'll tell you a little bit later her why. All right, so if you would give her a consultant guide, because sometimes when someone is interested in becoming a consultant, it's important to just give them our consultant guide. And since we don't really have a hard copy consultant guide anymore, you can download a PDF from InTouch and you can send that to her for her to look at. The Ds will have read the Career Essentials, or in today, I like to use the advanced brochure that's on InTouch that tells all about the marketing plan more than it does about how to hold a skincare class. And some of you have those in your welcome packets, and you may have picked one up by yourself from Office Depot. It's on InTouch, you can download it. Eyes don't have a clue where that's at. If you gave it to them and said, here, look this over, they don't even bother to give it to them because they won't know where it's at. S's have read it cover to cover more than once. The C's have read it, but they found all the typos, and they probably already called Mary Kay to report it. It's kind of funny. Okay. All right, so here we go. The D people. Okay, these are things that they like. They like to be successful. They like challenges. They like practicality, and they love being in charge. So you'll see them everywhere. They love being in charge. The I personality, she loves everything and wants to think about freedom, fun, approval, popularity, high visibility, acclaim, applause, and attention. And I know for sure that that was me when I started, because I would do just about anything for a prize. I worked solely for prizes, and I like the cash rewards and the cars and things like that. And now I want to help you achieve those goals. So my shift has gone from I to S. It's so interesting how we change it. So exciting. Okay. If the S personality, okay, she is interested in feeling warm and open and accepted. She likes loyalty and tradition. Okay. The C personality enjoys being busy and achieving specific goals. Okay. Got lots of pages here. Okay. Under sharing. When you are sharing with someone who is a D personality, they want to know how to work quickly. They want the challenge. They just want to know how fast they can go from customer to national sales director. That's all they're interested in, is how fast can I get to the top. The I personality wants to hear stories of other people. What did they do? How did they do it? Oh, that sounds like fun. They want a flexible schedule, and they love the opportunity to entertain. So I still love to have parties. I love to have my house full of people, and that's that I personality in me just still sticking out there, and I love it. Okay. The S personality likes a warm, friendly, team-building organization, does well with face-to-face contact, needs one-on-one supervision and access to the leader of the group for a discussion. They like to ask questions, remember? The C personality wants a stable environment. They love to be trained. They want evidence that Mary Kay offers a proven formula for success. So a C personality would absolutely love the Applause magazine. An I personality would love the Applause magazine. So would a D, so would an S. The Applause magazine is meant for all personalities. It has all those things inside of it that will help someone to learn about Mary Kay. All right, now we're back to training and education part. And this is to help you not only for your hostess, but as you're building your team, things that they will want and want to have. Your D personality wants to learn how to make positive, constructive suggestions to everyone. You need to make sure that you share with her the importance of coming to meetings and events. Sometimes she has trouble with the team approach, so she needs to know that she's really important. And you need to show her how she can make herself successful. Don't nitpick on her or check on her excessively, but you do need to make the expectations clear to her of what's expected of her. Wearing a dress or a skirt to every appointment, what she can do to succeed. If she's your hostess, you want to make sure that you go over the hostess, whatever you're using, your hostess plan with her, so that she knows exactly what's expected of her, so that she can achieve the most that there is to achieve. Your I personality in training, she needs to be kept on track. She's going to be wanting to chit chat with you about everything, and we jokingly call those squirrels. Although with the sinus infection, I feel a lot like a squirrel. So it may not always be her chosen personality at the moment. It just may be something that's happening. Okay. The S personality, she wants step-by-step direction. She wants support, friendly encouragement. She needs a lot of follow-up and feedback. You need to encourage the completion of all training assignments. She may not get everything done, and rejections may discourage her. So you need to make sure that you really encourage her to be a part of things and to complete tasks, because she needs that feeling of completion, but she may be a little afraid to complete it. Okay, the C personality, she wants to know all the details before starting anything. That's why she's read the consultant guide and found all the typos, remember? She must see and follow your advice. So make sure, she's kind of a monkey see, monkey do person. So she's going to do everything she sees you do. So you kind of have to be on your toes and pull up your C personality so that she can do the right things. For me, for an I personality, I have to make sure I follow the rules and do, not the rules per se, but like the consultant guide or the flip chart. Because as an I personality, I tend to go off topic, and that will really upset the apple cart of a C, because she just wants to see precisely how to do things. So I apologize. All right, what do these different personality types need? Okay, if she's a D personality, she needs high goals. So she's someone who needs to know $100 in outside orders gets me $100 in free product. I need to know that. I need to know that I need 2 bookings when you arrive to get another $25 in free product. I need to know I need 5 guests, 18 or older, who are currently not being serviced by a Mary Kay consultant. I need to know that. So she wants to know specifically exactly what those goals are so that she can strive to attain them. Okay, and she likes financial rewards, and she likes recognition. And once she's achieved one thing, she wants to know what's next. Okay, the I personality, I want team enthusiasm. I want to be appreciated, and I love to be creative. So all those things just fit me totally to the T. Okay, the S personality, she may neglect goals for the sake of a good relationship. I've done that before too. You think, oh, so-and-so calls me to go for coffee, and I think I'll go to coffee instead of spending my 5 minutes today booking, or 5 minutes today coaching, or 5 minutes today in my customer service, or 5 minutes today on sharing. They can get easily distracted from their goal, and they don't mean to, but they want everyone to be happy. She enjoys telling personal success stories. Okay, so that's kind of fun. And then the C personality, she needs things that are logical, problem solving. Everything should be in its place. And you might think of her as a perfectionist. For those of you who know my friend Chris Bogart, or if you haven't met her yet, you will, I know. She lives here in Bismarck with me, and she is the perfectionist. She is amazingly organized, and everything is together, and everything is ready, and everything does have its place, and it goes back in its place all the time. And that's awesome. My dad would love that. Okay, so now let's think a little bit about you. Who are you? Okay. When you are trying to figure out somebody's number one, and I don't in the beginning worry about what their 2, 3, and 4 are. You will learn that more as you get to know them. But when you first meet someone at a party, or facial, or at an event, or you will find yourself using this out and about everywhere with everyone that you meet. I find for myself that the D's are easy to pick out because they're the one in charge, and they're making things happen, and they're telling people what to do. The I personality, is really easy for me to detect because she is just happy-go-lucky and she's having fun and she's encouraging everyone and she's just joyful, just filled with joy, if that's her number one. Okay. The S personality, she is very family oriented and she will talk about her family, and that's the way I kind of pick her out. Is she talking about her family? Is she telling you all about them rather than herself? And the C personality, my number one thing that I look for all the time is how organized and tidy are they, and even their purse. Right now a C would just croak at my purse. I emptied out my car and it's full of all the gas receipts from my purse and I didn't put them away last night. A C would not have gone to bed without putting those receipts away last night. Okay, side note. But I am grateful because, okay, side note on personalities, the reason all those receipts are in my car is Tammy Pope and I were up in Minot on Thursday night, and on the way home, we saw all these flashing lights coming over the hill, and we're thinking, oh my God, there's a huge accident. Well, there kind of was an accident, but thank goodness. I think the only person that got injured was the deer that was laying on the side of the road, but we had to drive through the remnants of that deer that were all over the highway, and it was squishy sounding and like, ugh. Anyway, so that is all up underneath my car, and even though I went to the car wash, the wheel wells are still full, so Tim is gonna wash it for me, so I've been having to park it outside for fear that my garage will smell like, ugh, from that poor little deer, and I felt really bad. But anyway, looked like everybody was safe. We're not positive because we could see one ambulance heading back towards Minot. Its lights were going, but the sirens weren't on, so we're thinking that that means if there were injuries, they weren't life-threatening injuries, because usually that's when the siren comes on. So I don't know why. See, here's the I personality, because I had to tell you the little story because it was kind of funny. It's really funny because my grand dog wants to get up underneath that car and investigate big time. All right, so I'm just going to tell you who she is. Sorry. I's going to tell you all about herself. We kind of did that. She's looking for prizes. Okay. She loves people. The S is going to tell you about her family, her children, her husband, her parents, work she does in the school or church or home. She'll probably not use the word I often because she really, oh shoot, I just flipped. Sorry, back up. She's an I. She loves people. Okay, and then I just switched to the S. She will tell you about her family, her children, husband, parents, and work she does for her school or church. She will appreciate all that you share at the interview, and you should cover all points on your sheet because she wants everything answered. The C personality is quite analytical. She might even ask you, what did you mean by the questions? So I mentioned that at the beginning. All right, here we go. Some more about the personality type, because I just have pages of this and it's ongoing, and we're just going to do a snippet today because I have to be totally honest with you, I did not have a clue what this was when I started. And they kept talking about it and they kept saying, well, what personality type are you? Or if I would meet someone and I would come back and talk to my mentor about her, not talk about her in a bad sense, but tell all about this person that I knew, that I was learning about, and why I thought she would be fabulous on my team. And I would share with my mentor how to encourage her back. And the first thing she would always say is, well, what's her personality type? I didn't have a clue how to figure it out. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, because you're going to hear it a lot. And not only does that work for people as you're building your team, that you will want to be able to communicate with them, but for your customers as well. And you will get to know those customers. And so I get my feelings hurt very easily. And that goes along with that I personality. So it shines a lot in relationships with people. So my feelings are hurt. So if I have a customer and I deliver a product and she doesn't appear to be happy to see me, I instantly think, oh my gosh, what did I do wrong? And I will think about that. So I am learning to not give my power away, because then I can get their feelings hurt really easily. So I'm just sharing with you. You'll know when you're with customers and team members and people in general, she doesn't mean it. It's just the way she is. That's just the way her personality is. And so now I kind of know the saying of take it with a grain of salt. It's just the way it is. And you just have to embrace her and love her. And when she comes around and the better you get to know her, the softer she'll become. I don't know, somebody must need to hear that because there I went. Okay, so a D wants to know, they're going to ask what questions, as in, what is the bottom line? They just want the facts, ma'am, the facts. Okay. The I personality is going to ask you who. As in, who else is coming? Who else will be going? Who else is going to be doing this with me? Who else wants to have fun? Your S personality, all she wants to know is how. How do you want this done? She wants to make you happy. She's the people pleaser. And she makes a really good assistant. Okay. The C personality is why, as in, why are we doing this? Okay. If you're looking for an office assistant, that SC personality is somebody really good to have helping you. And it's fun to find a customer when you're looking for someone to work in your office, somebody who knows something about products. And I'm not talking working in your office 8 hours a day. I am talking somebody maybe 1 hour a month when you first start who can just enter your profile cards and the sales tickets so that you know what's happening and all that data is in. It's not somebody that you need to have in your office. I don't even have full-time office help. I have things delegated out to different people. And if you're lucky enough, you'll find somebody you can pay in product. It's pretty cool. So you can pay them $10 an hour, but then equate however much that is and let them choose product in place of it. All right, here we go. Personality is most like an animal. I am going to flip this in there because it's kind of fun. So a D is like a Doberman. I love it. They say this dog will bite your head off with a little provocation. As long as he is fed and kept in a good environment, a Doberman seems pleasant enough. However, let something cross him and his true nature comes out. The Doberman functions best with a big challenge before him. He will keep burglars out of the house at all costs. His bark is almost as bad as his bite. You don't want to get in a fight with him. He doesn't like to lose. Remember Vince Lombardi? He has a high-class D who left us with this quote, "Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing." So he was a very high D personality. Okay, and I is a fluffy puppy. Oh, they like to play. They find it difficult to get serious about anything. They're most content when they're laughing and they're having fun. They want to appear cute. They love little pats on the head and someone to scratch them on the chin. The high I functions best in response to praise or recognition. They speak kind. Oh, we need to speak kind words to them, and their tails start to wag. And someone has said that the reason dogs have so many friends is because they wag their tails and not their tongues. Isn't that interesting? I thought that was kind of cute. Okay, S's. They're more like cats. They move around the house at a leisurely pace. They enjoy every corner of the house. They check everything out. They find a few certain spots that they feel most comfortable, and that's where they relax. They like their own familiar territory. They stay out of the way so no one will step on them. When someone jumps at them, they run away, and they don't like conflict. They love to be appreciated and patted, and they purr when you stroke them. The C personality is kind of like a tropical fish. They swim to one side of their aquarium and check everything out, and then back to the other side. And then they go to the top and they check everything out again. They seem to enjoy making sure that everything is okay and neat and tidy. They check each rock at the bottom of the tank. They swim over and they check the ceramic figurines. And then they start their circuit all over again. They're curious by nature and they function best when the environment is exactly to their liking and neat and tidy. They don't like sudden change, but they do like to be fed and to maintain their constant state. All right, so here we go. Here are ways to improve your people skills. So when you're out and about, not just with Mary Kay, but just out and about in general, you need to know these ways of dealing with those people that you come in contact with. Okay, so a D personality, they like warm fuzzies. Okay, when you're coming to a unit meeting and you get ready to hug someone, a D will calculate in her mind, is this hug really necessary? Is this hug going to get me any farther? If it's not, then they probably won't hug you. Okay? They have to learn, if you are a D, they have to learn to get warm and fuzzy. Learn to get into your customers and your team members and find out what's good for your customers and your people. Because when you figure out what it is that lights their fire, so to speak, they will become more bonded to you and your relationship will strengthen. Okay, and I for influential. You want to make sure that if you're an I personality that you slow down a little bit. Okay, I'm working on that. Slowing down because the people that you're with are not necessarily I's. Okay, and I'll give you, for instance, when I take go shopping. I have learned that it's best for me to go shopping and say to someone, I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes. Because my I personality wants to zig and zag and dart all over the store and investigate and check things out. And when I go shopping with my mom, she accuses me of leaving her behind all the time because I'll see something and I just dash off to go investigate it. And she'll say, you left me behind again. And it's not purposefully, and I don't do it with malintention. It just kind of happens. And so we're learning that we get along better. If I say, okay, Mom, I'll meet you back here in 30 minutes, then we can each go do our own thing. And then we can come back because my mom is more of a C personality. And that's why I have her doing my data entry for my customers and their profile cards and their sales tickets, because she's very detailed about that. And she calls and asks me lots of questions if she doesn't understand my handwriting. So those are the people you want doing your data entry. Find somebody who is a C personality, who likes detail, pays a lot of attention to detail. And that's the person that you want entering and doing your data, okay? Remember, you all have all of these personalities, just one is at the top, all right? I tend to talk too fast. That's part of an I personality too. My husband always says, slow down. People cannot listen as fast as you can talk, all right? An S personality, you already looked at what you're gonna watch on television tonight. It's important for you to learn how to delegate, because as an S personality, and I have a lot of S, remember I said that's the one that's coming up right now and replacing my I want to take care of things for people, and I want to care for them, and I want everything to be right. And if someone's not doing something the way I think it should be done, I'll just take over and do it to get it finished. And that's not really a good thing, because that didn't encourage that person's number one personality if I stepped in and took over. So I am learning to be better about delegating and then just following up with that, okay? You have to really learn to understand that in your heart, that if you give up doing something, you may have to give it up for the rest of your life, because somebody else is gonna like it and they're gonna wanna keep doing it, okay? Your family wants a lot from you. And so we tend to want to give them everything, but we do need to let them learn to stand on their own 2 feet and to get things ready. And it's really hard, the S in you or the S in me, if the girls would forget something, I would want to dash off to school and take it to them and fix it. And you have to learn that you can't do that, because I didn't teach them anything if I fixed it and backed up and saved them, so to speak, from whatever might have happened. If it was their lunch, what are you gonna do? If it was their homework and they didn't get a grade, oh, it just killed me. But they had to learn to be responsible. And so you can't do everything for everyone. I'm still working on that, okay? The C's, you love the rules. You didn't know there was an agreement, and you didn't have an ink and pen to sign it if you were an I. If you were a C, it was a 2-part interview. You read the back of the BD agreement. You might have read the entire Perfect Start workbook. You might have read the autobiography, and you might have read the consultant's guide. And then you went to a meeting, and then you signed your agreement. That is not important. The most important thing is that C's are powerful. They're very powerful. And the most important thing is that you became a Mary Kay consultant and you know the rules. This is a sales organization, and it's important to know all the rules. All right, so for D's, are you ready? Here's some things that we can improve on, all right? D's, you need to learn to hug and to hold on to people and give them a real hug. And you need to learn to become cheery so that people in your space want to be around you, because we tend to want to just beep, 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 and be done. And that's it. We just want to go, get the job done, and get out of there. Okay, so as a D, we have to learn how to hug, hold on to people, and to bring up our cheery side a little bit. As an I, this is good for me. I just think inside myself, I'm going to be a star consultant, and here's my prize, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get there, but somehow I will make it happen. I just want to be that level star consultant, or I just want a queen bee, or I just want whatever. And I don't stop to think about how to make it happen. Oh, that was embarrassing, sorry. Okay, and an S wants to win something for their home and furniture. And so that's one way I can tell that I definitely have a personality. My S is coming up because now I'm taking the prizes like leadership registration, career conference registration, MK Connections cards, more things that are practical. In the beginning, I took all the jewelry and the handbags because that was more fun, So I'm learning how to be more of an S. And the C's, this is funny. It says they always want to pick the calculator, and not necessarily. It's just that C's like numbers and they like to figure things out and they like to be planners. So maybe your C likes to be a planner. And speaking of planners, I just saw some of the cutest planners at Michael's. I use the Mary Kay Day book, but if you wanted one that had more space in it and more room, they've got the cutest little planners at Michael's, and they have all these different pages and stickers and all kinds of things. All right. So you have to be willing to change. Be yourself and be a Mary Kay, but you have to be willing to recognize other people's personalities. You are an awesome team player, and you are a member of a really, really incredible team. And I just put on Facebook what the company just sent us yesterday. Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. So if you haven't seen that, make sure you pop on there real quick and check it out. And that's kind of it on personalities. You're D, I, S, and C. You are one of those. And if you would just send me a text and let me know which one you think you are, and we'll see if it's the same one that I think you are, because I myself am just learning how to do this and figure personalities out. And it's good for us to learn about other people and to learn how they work and to learn how they think. Okay, so that's it for personality. Your homework this week, it's going to be really simple. Your next checklist inside your book, so you should be on number 9. Oh, I've got several of them lying here. So your number 9 checklist for this week is after the first product sale and your party. Oh, here's kind of interesting because we were just talking about finding someone that can do all this data entry for you. Don't get stuck doing it. Even if you are a C personality, please find another C that can help you. And the best place is a customer, and offer to pay them and do just what Linda said. I am just starting my Mary Kay business, and right now I can't afford to pay you in cash, but I could offer you the equivalent of minimum wage, or you could even go higher if you want, in free product. How would that be for you? So find somebody who wants more product and maybe can't afford it all. That would be a good place to be. And so here's your checklist. So your assignment this week is real easy. Do checklist number 9. And you need to send these to me, by the way, if you want your prizes. No checklist sent, no prize sent. It kind of works like that. And then also I want to know your personality. So how easy is that this week? Just your little answer from your squares, the color that you had most filled in. And if you remember which one is D, I, S, or C, go ahead and send that. And then checklist number 9. Okay, and then what's up for next week? Education next week, can you believe? Oh, today was 8. Oh my goodness, I just skipped one, didn't I? Oops, today is really number 8? Oops, I can't count. Okay, whatever number it is this week, there's the I coming down on me. Whatever checklist it is, do your checklist and send me your personality. And then for next week, we are going to have a pretend sharing. So when one of you listens this week, if you would be willing to be the person on the other side of the phone next week that we can do pretend sharing with, Q&A, that would be fabulous. Just let me know. I love you. I believe in you. I am so stinking proud of you. You are doing things that we have never done as a team before, achieving new goals. And Mary Kay always said, no goal is too lofty, no goal is too high. And you are going to be recognized as a top unit at the Ruby Seminar. It's so exciting. Okay, I love you. I believe in you. Have a fabulous day. You're powerful beyond belief.